going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Caroga. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender.
Falsehood, important news, I need new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's, excuse me. Try that again. Okay. Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, May 28th, 2021. TBIF. Thank me, it's Friday. Yes. What a crappy Friday it is outside. It's not sunny. It's not raining. It's cloudy, a bit windy, a bit cool, which I like, don't get me wrong. But muggy. Not a beautiful Friday by any means, but it is Friday. So, you know, for those people who have lives, who work, it's Friday. For somebody like me, the days of the week don't really matter, except that I got to know that tomorrow we're going to be doing Cinema Saturday as opposed to some other thing. I am, as you can tell, still recovering from pneumonia. It's been a long road. Not gonna sing the song, but it's been a long road, and I still have a ways to go. I do feel like I'm getting better, but I feel like I'm a long ways still from being better, though clearly I'm better than I was, I would say, 2 weeks ago. And Life with Matthew has renewed his membership. It was probably automatic, but Life with Matthew, thank you for becoming a member now for 2 months in a row. Thank you. So thank you guys. So it's been a rough few weeks. Now, if all goes well and nothing worse happens, I may get to see Nephew O'Prey as early as Saturday or possibly Sunday this weekend. And I know that has Mom O'Prey very happy. Though we both miss him, let's face it, Mom O'Prey really, really, really misses him. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello in Qapla, hail Caroga. Hail Caroga. Caroga Night says, Viva Caroga. Viva Caroga. Caroga Night. Josh Street says, where is Bertle Prey? He's already 5 hours late to his own party. Of course, that was at 2:29 p.m. Eastern when we did not start till 4 p.m. Eastern. Technically 4:05. 47 Yorktown puts in hashtag Dear Bop. And Loki's Mornings of Mischief also has renewed Carogan citizenship. Thank you again, Loki. That is probably an automatic renewal, but a thank you nonetheless. So yes, 47 Yorktown wants hashtag Dear Bop. There are a handful of Dear Bops, like 5. At least there were when I looked at them last. So we do have some Dear Bops for today. Josh Reed says, I'm sorry, 47 Yorktown. I'm afraid there are no more Dear Bops. That is fake news, Josh Street. Actor says, but, Bird promised we'll do Dear Bops and the like. Is there in black and white. It's there in black and white in the video description. It is, and I plan to. So I don't know where they got this fake news. Josh Reed says, I'm sorry, actor. I'm afraid that there are no more Dear Bops. I know Dear Bop was important to you, but I'm afraid I can't allow Dear Bop anymore. I don't know where Josh Street has come up with this. And 47 Yorktown is saying no to Josh Street. Josh Street says goodbye, Hector and 47 Yorktown. Hector says life lost its meaning. Why do we exist? Just to suffer. First, he doesn't sing anymore. Then no more Dear Bops. To be or not to be, that is the question. If I were to cut, if we are cut, do we not bleed? There will still be Dear Bops, Hector. Josh Reed says to be or not to be is not the question you should ask, Hector. Why must I leave you in the middle of Caroga with no way out, says Josh Street. And Hector says, who died and made you Emperor of Caroga or something? Stop drinking out of date absinthe, said Josh Street. That might be. He might be drinking out of date absinthe, or perhaps he ate out of date Spam mixed with absinthe. We're not sure. Josh Street says, Hector, this is not Josh Street. This is Hal. You know, I thought I was getting Hal overtones, but I wasn't sure. Richie Poole says, I hear Ms. Green is now doing bad ethnic accents. I wonder if she's ever seen a Bertle Prey 5 live stream. Lol. I don't know what Representative Green may or may not be doing, Richie. I generally don't hear about her, except from Anti-Trekker. Richie Poole says, hello, world. See you later, world. It is back to work for me. Qapla. Richie Poole. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day working. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47 Yorktown. And then I told everybody I was live now in case they needed to refresh the screen. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. Actor says, tis better be good. I was chilling to Eno Macarino's spaghetti western soundtracks. Rambling Canuck says, hello, Bertle Prey 5 and all Qapla Rambling. And guys, check out earlier Rambling Canuck, or the technically a history with R&R. Put out the first history with R&R round table, which I was in the middle of listening to when I got a phone call and had to pause it. But it's still on pause in one of my many, many open browser tabs. So check that out. Darth Maul says typical day in Caroga. It might be. John DeMarco says hello to everyone. Qapla, John DeMarco. Darth Maul says it's been a long road getting from there to here. And Jedi Bill says hello. Qapla, brother warrior. Hail Caroga. Hail Caroga. Qapla, Jedi Bill. Who also says hello to Rambling Canuck. And hello to 47 Yorktown. And hello to not Ryan Johnson. I do apologize. You can tell I'm not at 100%, but far better than where I was. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun yesterday during our open lines and playing of Call of Duty. Now, I do know that a lot of you do not care for games like Call of Duty. A lot of you do. A lot of you are happy to just watch me run around and get killed. And that's the funniest thing to you guys. But I am also aware that a lot of you do prefer when we do a true open lines and we talk about an actual topic instead of just watch me play a game. So don't worry, I'm not going to do Warzone every open lines. It was just this past week. I really felt like playing something. So we did it. I will have future open lines that are only open lines without me playing a game in the background. They're not going away. It's just this particular week I didn't do it. I will do it at least once next week, if not more often. Actor says your Italian predecessors hang their heads in shame at your Italian name enumerations. I can't pronounce that word, Actor. Darth Maul says to pee or not to pee. Is it nobler to go in one's pants or to urinate into one's water bottle and pitch it out the car window? It's nobler to go into a water bottle and then drain it into a toilet when you get to a gas station and toss the bottle. Do not toss the bottle out your car window. Rambling Canuck says, thank you, Better Pray. Hope you enjoy the video. And hello to Jedi Bill. Thank you, Rambling. I hope so too. And John DeMarco says, Call of Duty is not my thing, but I do enjoy you watching, running around and dying. And if you saw it yesterday, oh man, I was flying a helicopter and dying. But hey, I got to fly the helicopter. For some reason, the helicopter is easy to find in the multiplayer game. But when I play solo, I can't find the helicopter anywhere on the map. I know there's one there because I occasionally see somebody with it. But I don't know. Maybe there's more helicopters in the multiplayer map. I don't have any ideas. If anybody has any reason why it's easier to find in the quad game, let me know. Because every time I've played solo, since I checked the prison and the hospital, and it's not at either of those places before the round begins. Whereas when we were playing in the quads, almost every time the hospital was at the prison, and many a times it was at the hospital too. So I don't know. My guess is there's just perhaps one helicopter when playing solo on the entire map, and that there's 4 or 5, at least 4 helicopters, maybe 5 when playing quads. That's my only guess. John DeMarco says, to say that you were flying a helicopter is a bit of a stretch. It flew for a couple of minutes. One time, well, I tell you, one time it got shot out of the sky, so not my fault. The second time, it got blown out of the sky by a missile lock, which I didn't even know was a thing in the game. So again, I'd say not really my fault. Only one of those crashes was actually me crashing the helicopter. Actresses, the game overwatchers say you're flying and then decide to blow up the helicopter preemptively. That's what I think is happening. I do. So, I do want to address something that happened on Captain Shrek's stream. Not this morning. This morning's stream was great. Yesterday, if you were watching Captain Shrek's stream, the first stream in the morning, me and Captain and some of the other people who were on, we got into a bit of a screaming match. I do apologize to a point for what I said, though. To be honest, I feel pretty justified in what I said. But the point being is that Captain Shrek ended the stream, as is 100% his right to do, and I 100% understand why he did it, and I am in no way criticizing Captain Shrek for ending the stream when he did. He had no idea how it was going to continue, and it was completely, I will 100% agree. He decided to make the call he did. It's not the call I would have made, but it wasn't my stream, and I understand the logic he used, and I don't criticize him in any way for ending the stream when he did. But for those of you who were not the 4 people in the back room after Captain Shrek ended the stream and he left the stream, there were several of us still there. The most of us who were, quote unquote, yelling at each other, as we had been while we were live on YouTube. Not our finest moments, but I want you all to know that even despite him ending the stream, we kept talking, and within 10 or 15 minutes, we all talked ourselves down. As much as we had talked ourselves up to the boiling point, to the breaking point, we didn't go berserk. We didn't curse each other out and hang up on each other. We kept talking and kept talking and kept talking, and we asked the hard questions. We got through, and we saw common ground. Finally, it took a while. But between me and Poe and Yvette and I think LDG might have been there. And I'm not sure if anyone else was there offhand. We found common ground. We kept speaking. And within, I'd say, 10 or 15 minutes, we were all okay again. And at no time did any of us make any threats or say anything that we would regret in the long term. And I just thought it was wonderful that even though we got heated, even though things got to a place where they looked like they might have gone bad or turned sour, they didn't. We all kept our lines of communication open, and we got through it. And I think that is a wonderful testament to this community, and the fact that we're not always going to agree, and we all have a lot of passion, and some of us will even get angry. Okay, some of us will get mad if somebody says something, but that doesn't mean we're going to turn our backs on our friends. It doesn't mean we're going to curse somebody out and put our fingers in our ears and not listen to what they have to say. I thought it was actually a wonderful learning experience. And it's just, to me, unfortunate that we had no way, I wasn't even thinking I could have started recording it or something. I felt like my mind was the last thing I cared about was recording it at that point. But I kind of wish I had. So, I mean, I would certainly get the approval of the other people if I did, but I would then put that out so that people could see, this is how you disagree without becoming assholes to each other, without shutting down the conversation, continuing to speak, continuing to find our truth. And I was just happy. I was so happy with the way it ended. I did not think I would be. The moment I saw that stream went down, I thought, shit, it's gonna go from bad to worse. But no, we managed to hold things together. And by the end of the stream, we were all, I'd say, probably better friends than when we started. So that's cool. I like it. If you got to see Captain Trek's stream yesterday morning, and you weren't sure how it ended, now you know. And if you didn't get to see Captain Trek's stream, the morning stream, the early morning, the morning brew stream, and you can still go back and listen to it, just know that it ended abruptly on YouTube, but behind the scenes, it went well. And then like an hour later, Captain Trek was streaming live again, and he just left what was the toxic stuff behind and started a new fun stream. And I thought that was also pretty cool. And though I didn't make it up for the fun stream because I was busy at that point, I did see that virtually everyone who had been in the stream the morning did make it back for the second stream, and more people. So I really, really have to say that was well done. A good job to everybody involved. And, if you are not yet subscribed to Captain Trek, I would strongly advise you, even if you're not awake at the, 7 a.m. Eastern time when he normally goes on, I would still subscribe to the man so you can get notification when he does go live. It might not always be so early. And even if it is, you can always re-listen to it at a later time. So, Aravic Sonder with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Aravic Sonder. And I'm sorry, you guys can see, yes, I am still wearing the oxygen. Aravic Sonder says, Qapla, bird of prey. Yes, it's been a long week at work, but it's Friday and payday and a 3-day weekend. Woohoo. TBIF. Yes, it is indeed a 3-day weekend. I completely forgot. For those who don't know, in the United States, Monday is Memorial Day. It is also Jeff Franklin's birthday. So remember to wish a happy birthday to Jeff Franklin for Monday, which is Memorial Day. So we will be having a special Memorial Day edition of Bed Life on this Monday. Outside the United States, I don't know. I don't think it's called Memorial Day, but I do believe people have the day off for some other holiday in many countries. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So yeah, this is the quote unquote unofficial start to summer is Memorial Day weekend, and the local news is telling us how for the first time in a long time, they're having trouble hiring lifeguards. Why can't they hire lifeguards? Well, because, frankly, lifeguards generally were younger people who were not getting paid all that much above minimum wage, but they enjoyed having the job for the summer. It was a cool job to have, and there was generally plenty of people, supply for this job. So it wasn't something they had to pay a lot for. But because of the virus, because of the changes, and because, frankly, I believe the fact that people can make money on unemployment in excess of what they would make being a lifeguard, they've only, like Connecticut, which is a very prosperous state, has only about half of its lifeguard jobs filled, when they would normally be, more than filled. There'd be waiting lists for people to be lifeguards. So it might slow down. It might prevent some places from opening, some beaches or some pools from opening. And even if the beaches do open, if you don't have a lifeguard, it makes it all the more dangerous. So there is a labor problem in this country, and it's not the first time it's been brought up, but people don't want to go back to work, and that could be a problem. I got to be honest, lifeguard was never something I ever considered being. Even when I felt like I was a pretty decent swimmer, considering we had a pool when I was a child. I could always swim. I was overweight as a kid, but I could swim. I never ever, even when I was healthy, considered being a lifeguard. Not because of the thought of sitting under the hot sun made me thirsty, which it did. But mostly because I didn't like going in the ocean water in New York, because once you've seen the ocean water in, Hawaii or the Caribbean or Barbados or basically anywhere that is not New York, and you see that it's this beautiful crystal clear blue color, and you can see 3, 4, 5 feet down through the water. In the Bahamas, I was on the what do you call it? Jet ski is the brand name, but whatever, the personal watercraft jet ski thing. And I would look down, and I was in 10 feet of water, and I could see straight to the bottom of the water. I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. This is beautiful. For somebody who grew up in New York City, I thought the ocean was supposed to be brown. When you went out to the ocean water in New York, off the coast of Long Island, New York, or off the coast of Queens, the water is a murky brown. You cannot see 6 inches into the water. And I didn't realize how dirty it was. And once we went to Florida once, and I realized, oh shit, that's what the water's supposed to look like. I was like, no, I'm done. I was done. I used to love going to the beach as a kid, not because I cared about getting the water, but because I could build sandcastles. But no, once I saw what the water was supposed to look like, and it dawned on me that the reason it doesn't look like that is because of the sewage and shit that's been being dumped in the Northeast for hundreds of years. And even though things have gotten better, they're not that much better. I was like, I'm done. I stopped doing anything that would put me in contact with local seawater. It made no sense anymore. That means I didn't go on I had a chance, but I didn't go on a jet ski up here. I didn't do anything because it was nasty. It's nasty, brown, dirt, sewage filled water. So yeah, I didn't want to be a coast guard. I didn't want to be a lifeguard for the beach. And then I certainly didn't want to be a lifeguard in a pool because frankly, the pools here are just too crowded, and a crowded public pool, all you're thinking is how many of these people are too lazy to go piss. And doesn't matter if you come back with 1% or 10% or 50%, it's too many people. It's too many people, okay? If there's 15 people in a pool, that's too many people to be trustful that they all got out and peed when they had to pee. I'm sorry. It's not like a your own little family pool where, okay, I'm pretty sure they would all get out of the pool. And if they didn't, well, at least they're related to me. No. A public pool, can't deal with it anymore. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So, not for me. But other people, yeah, it's a good job. Plus, you get some cred. You're a lifeguard. You get, people respect you. I didn't need the respect. I had enough. But other people, you want respect. You become a lifeguard. It's a good way. Good way of getting respect. So speaking of peeing in pools, I asked Mamo Prey, how does it work for a baby? Because she got a baby pool for nephew O'Prey. And I realized, like, well, if he goes in wearing a diaper, the diaper is going to suck up all the water. And apparently, I didn't know this, but baby bathing suits have like an absorbent diaper built in case the baby does pee. Of course, baby pee isn't the same as adult pee, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. The bathing suit's got it built in. So sometime this summer, we'll probably have some pictures of Charlie in his little Charlie pool, which that'll be different. That'll be fun. Where are we? Where are we in the chat? Bradley Briggs says the big fancy looking rocket launchers are the ones that do the missile lock. I gotcha. Commodore Ty says hello all. Qapla, Commodore Ty. Actress says pineapple on pizza is a very controversial topic. I understand how that will derail conversations and end friendships. And Bradley Briggs uses the emojis for pineapple on pizza, and I like pineapple. I like pizza. I have never tried pineapple on pizza, and I don't think I am going to anytime soon. Actually, I generally keep the pizza. I generally keep the pizza plain because it just tends to be more trouble than it's worth finding toppings that people can agree with. Me personally, I'm okay with mushrooms. I'm okay with beef, like ground beef, meatball. They call it, they call it meatball, but it's not meatball. It's either pieces of meatball or pieces of ground beef. And what was it? Oh, extra cheese. I could do extra cheese. And bacon. Bacon. Real bacon, not Italian bacon. I do not like, and I know this is gonna this is why I don't have, this is why I don't generally get pizza with toppings. I don't like pepperoni. I don't like salami. I don't like any of the other meat toppings they can try to put on. No, I don't. Just meatball or mushrooms or extra cheese or any combination of. That's it. And bacon on pizza. Bacon pieces, not whole slices of bacon, mind you. Like bacon bits. Darth Maul is introducing Captain Track fish food made with love and tears in the mines of Caroga, and a bit of Captain Track. Make your fish swimmingly happy, inspired by the Italian Mafia. There's no such thing as the Italian Mafia, Darth Maul. Arabic Sonder says hey to Captain Ty. Jedi Bill says hello to Arabic Sonder. Bradley Briggs says, I'm surprised lifeguards don't have to be registered nurses these days. Yeah, well, I guess they just don't want to pay for that. Actor says, excuse me. Actor says, I thought lifesavers were all professional and most of them had big bouncing assets. And all looked fabulous. Did 80s TV lie to me? Yes. Baywatch. I don't know how they do it in California, but Baywatch is not typically the lifeguards you'd find in New York. In New York, you'd be lucky if they're 16 years old, and they generally were dudes, and probably not the dudes the ladies were looking for. I'm just saying, because those guys had friends, and those guys had sports, and those guys had things that they were doing over the summer, and not just sitting on a chair at the beach watching over old ladies and little kids. Commodore Ty says, how is everyone? I hope they're doing good, Commodore. Bradley Briggs says, New York swimming in other people's turds. It really is. A Sea-Doo, yes. A Sea-Doo is another personal watercraft. Mr. CCDB says, good times this morning, Commodore Ty. And Bradley says, oh shit, it's correct, indeed. Actor says, Bob Squarepants at the bottom of New York Bay. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz Qapla says, Qapla Bird of Prey, you should see the beaches of Southeast Asia. Oh my God. I bet they're worse than New York. I'm sure they are. It's probably like the only water that I know of that is more polluted than the coastal waters of New York City is the Ganges in India. And that's only because I've seen the videos with the bodies floating down the river. And that was before the COVID spike. That was just any given day on the Ganges. It's not good. It's not good. Mr. CCDV says, swimming off the coast of Red Bank, New Jersey was pretty gross. And I'll tell you, by the time you get to southern New Jersey, or even middle New Jersey, it's already better than what you're getting on New York and Long Island. But yeah, even Atlantic City is better than what you're getting up here in New York. But you're right. I wouldn't, even Atlantic City, is not south enough. Literally I'd need to be at Fort Lauderdale or south on the East Coast to get it to go into their water. And I don't think I'd go in the Gulf Coast at all. The Gulf of Mexico, more polluted. I mean, just from oil. God knows what else. But the East Coast, once you get to Fort Lauderdale area, the water starts becoming pretty blue and pretty pristine. Not as good as the Bahamas or Barbados, but pretty good. LDG of Geeks Enjoy gives a wave. Qapla LDG. Bradley Briggs says that's why they put all the stuff in the pools and it turns blue when people pee. That doesn't exist, Bradley. I wish it did, but that's just something they do to scare kids. There is no such chemical. Deej Odyssey says, hail the Deej. At least there wasn't 10, 15 years ago. I haven't looked lately, but believe me, if there was, we would have put some in. Actors has confirmed Bird reluctantly accepts to immerse in pee, but only if it's a relative. I'm just saying, I don't know. At least it's blood related pee. Dr. Alex's Qapla Bird of Prey. I'm starting a new video series tomorrow morning. I think you'll like it. Very cool, Dr. Alex. I look forward to it. I assume you mean your morning, not my morning. Hector says hi. Mr. CCDV says the lifeguard test is tough. I passed it back in high school. I couldn't pass it now. Yes, but Mr. CCDV, there's a lot of tests you probably can't pass now. I'm sure as hell I can't pass now. But that's what it was made for. It was made for high school students. Dr. Alex is especially the post-credit sequence. Got it, Dr. Alex. I will make sure I watch through the post-credit sequence. Darth Maul says adult pee isn't the same as baby pee. Just ask R. Kelly. Oh, Jesus. Josh Reid says Bird of Prey loves Beagle Bites on his pizza. I do not. I don't even know. I don't want to know. John DeMarco says there's no such thing as the Italian Mafia. Don't tell Uncle Paulie. Uncle Paulie is an independent contractor. Actor says, Bird of Prey, the pineapple on pizza comment was because you went into detail on what happened on Captain Trek stream, and I didn't have any idea what or why you were discussing. Well, we were discussing the virus, and things got a little out of control. Darth Maul says Yasmin Bleeth, Pam Anderson. Was that her name on the show? Yasmin Bleeth. I have absolutely no. I mean, I've heard of Baywatch. I've seen Baywatch. I mean, I've seen the intro to Baywatch and the bouncing, but I have no idea what her character was called. Dr. Alex says, has Bird tried green eggs and ham pizza? I have not. And Darth Maul says, in Carmen Electra. Commodore Ty says, the Sons of Anarchy watch party tonight. That's right. It's Friday, Sons of Anarchy Day. And guys, Sons of Anarchy is an awesome show. I remember watching it probably a decade ago. It was great. In fact, it was still live on TV. I watched the first 6 seasons, binged them, and then was ready to watch the 7th season live as it aired. It was good stuff. A lot better than what's currently on TV, Mayans, which is a spin-off. Mayans isn't terrible, but it is definitely a step below Sons of Anarchy. Thomas Potts says, Matthew is a jerk. I made a perfect schedule for him and he didn't do anything on it for the last 2 days. Oh, Thomas, I'm sorry, but the man is fighting several hundred articles of impeachment, so he has other things on his mind. And I do believe you are the one who wrote up the articles of impeachment, so I'm sure you're aware. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey, I remember back in the day, I used to work at Robert Moses Park on the cleanup crews in the summers. There were quite a few female lifeguards, and they were spectacular. Well, that's very good to know at Robert Moses Park. That's a little further out on Long Island, so it's, quite frankly, never been a beach I've been to. The beaches I've been to were all, at the furthest out was Jones Beach, but most of them were closer, and actually, most of them, my life was the Rockaways and Breezy Point, Southern Queens. Not so much Long Island. John DeMarque says, hashtag Matthew is a jerk. I can neither confirm nor deny Matthew's jerkness level. Darth Maul says, the seashores of India. Oh my effing G. Yes. You do not want to drink the water from the Ganges, or probably any water in south or eastern, or in Asia, just in Asia. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Did you hear of the Gulf Stream? FYI, everything in it goes from the Gulf to the East Coast. Well, Thomas, not enough, because the Gulf Stream is off the coast, so maybe it's bringing up clean water, but it's not bringing in enough clean water. Worse, it's also pulling the dirty water back down into, it's a cycle, it's a circle. So it's bringing the dirty water on a course around Europe, down past Africa, and back over. Luckily, it's still pretty clear by the time it gets to the Caribbean, but it's not enough clean water coming up north. Darth Maul says Konsing might not have been genetically engineered at all. He drank from the Sea of India and got his enhancements. It's always possible that, remember, not every mutation is a bad mutation. I mean, we think, somebody gets mutated, they get irradiated, they get mutated, and they turn into some horrible disfigured thing, growing an extra arm out of the center of their chest, or, getting cancer, God forbid. But there's always the chance that random mutation improves them. Okay? I mean, there's always the chance that mutation makes them smarter, or makes them stronger, or, gives them psychic telekinetic abilities. We have no idea. And John Araki, thank you, John Araki, with a $1 super chat. In fact, some of the earliest experiments with radiation happened when they were exposing crop seeds to radioactivity to force them to mutate. And then they would plant the seeds and see what grew. And if it looked like a beneficial mutation, like it produced a bigger fruit, then, or a bigger whatever it was trying to, or tastier, or it had some type of ability to resist resist insects, or resist weed killer, then they would keep it. And if it didn't, if it made it smaller or it killed the plant, then they would just get rid of it. But that is one way before they could, before they knew how the gene and DNA worked, before they could edit genes individually, they would just expose seeds to a bunch of radiation and see what grew. It's pretty weird to see how far we came. So yes, it is quite possible that if you were developing superhumans and you did not yet have the ability to edit the genes individually, you could just expose a bunch of embryos to radiation or the river Ganges and then see what grew and, keep the best and the brightest of what came out. Now, unfortunately, to do that on a human life scale, it would probably take you 10 to 20 years to figure out if what you had was a useful mutation or not. Now, if it was a bad mutation, you could probably figure that out pretty quickly. But to tell if, you raise the IQ 20 or 30 points, it's going to take some time. And also that, you didn't completely stunt their life, their development. If you raised the IQ by 50 points, but they only lived to, 20 years old, that really isn't a helpful mutation. So, it takes quite a while. A lot of trial and error. Darth Maul says a drug test would be one. To get a lifeguard. Yeah, you do have to get drug tested. Jedi Bill says hello to Mr. CCDV and to Dr. Alex. Mr. CCDV says hey to Jedi Bill. And Uncle Remus says, Bird, your face is really red. Sunburn. Are you okay? No, it's not sunburn. It's it's the color shirt I'm wearing. It's the fact that I have the camera auto white balance off, and it's probably also my oxygen levels, which we'll check. Let's see. $97, $96, $95. Gotta breathe. $94, $95, $96. Okay, 96 is good. 96 is good. Yeah, there we go. It's my face gets flush. It gets red. It's part of the I believe it's part of the pneumonia I'm fighting. Maego says, hail Caroga, death to Kurdistan. Indeed, hail Caroga, death to Kurdistan. Qapla, Maego. John Aragi says, Dear Twitch, Bird of Prey 5 spreads misinformation about genetically modified organisms. Please cancel. Thanks. The Anti-Trekker. Yeah, you could probably write that to Twitch. Oh, Twitch. We got an email from Twitch today talking about how they just got several thousand Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown requests, and that they're assuming that these companies are using bots because that's the only way they could have caught so many people at the same time. And it's like it's worded like they're on our side. Twitch is on our side as creators, and they're working really hard to talk to Hollywood and to get them to stop putting in these DMCA takedown notices. I don't know if anybody believes it, but I found it hilarious. Carlo Albanese says, I wonder if exposing myself to radiation will make it bigger. Carlo, it very well might make it bigger, but the bigness might come from cancer, and then that's not good. I'm reminded of the South Park episode where Randy puts his balls in the microwave, and then by the end of the episode, they're so big he's just jumping on them like he can't even walk because they're just so big. He's bouncing on them to move. I think half the town decided to do it. I forget why, but yeah, South Park did it. And then Carlo says hi and hope everyone is as well as can be. Qapla, Carlo, and hail Caroga. Absolutely, hail Caroga. Darth Maul lows to Carlo. Agnes says Bird is advocating for human experimentation. Wow, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I understand. Mr. CCDV says Bird of Prey. Irradiated food is pretty common these days. It kills bacteria and junk. Yeah, no, but this isn't irradiating food. This was when they were irradiate seeds specifically to see what grew. Irradiating it, what they do now is they irradiate it generally with UV light, which kills the vast majority of bacteria and viruses on the surface of the food. At the point they irradiate it, the food has already grown. So there's no more growth happening. So it doesn't change changing the DNA is not really an issue. The food's dead. If they irradiate meat, the meat's already dead. If they irradiate an apple, the apple's already picked. It's already fully grown. It doesn't matter. They're just doing it to keep it clean and to prevent people from getting sick from touching the food. So that's a different type of irradiation. Darth Maul says, make sure the radiation gives consent. I don't know how you would try that. You would even go about that. Maego says, whatever Bird says is true. He is the leader of Caroga after all, you know. Those statements are not independently false. Agnes' non-ionizing radiation, Mr. CDDV, is very different to ionizing radiation. Mr. CCDV says, it'll turn you green, Carlo. And he says, I know, Hector, I'm just trying to be funny. Maego says, check the oxygen levels, Bird. You look like you have a sunburn. The oxygen levels are okay. I think it's just the color of the shirt I'm wearing and the light set up in here. Yeah, the face is red. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think it's as bad as it's making as it looks. Dede Myers says, Qapla, how are you and the family doing? Well, Dede, I've been better, but I've been worse. Family is doing okay. Not good. Uncle Remus says, hope you feel better. Thank you, Uncle Remus. Hector says, those days is full of people that died from the virus. Those days is full of people. I don't know what that's in reference to. Maego says, good to know you're feeling good. We need you now more than ever. Thank you, Maego. Dede Myers says, greetings one and all. Thomas Potts says, Bird of Prey. YouTube is suggesting I watch his interview with Ichib. Anti-Tracker's interview? I mean, if you want, I think I'm done watching interviews with Ichib, Manu Interabi. Dede Myers says, agree to Maego. Thomas Potts says, Carlo, don't expose yourself. No, don't expose yourself to me either. The Ego donated $1 and says, all bow down to the new ruler of Caroga. The ruler of Caroga has not changed, Mr. Ego, if that is you. But thank you for the $1. I will continue to rule over Caroga for now. Maego says it was to get medical marijuana. Carlo Albanese says, Bed Life. It's a stream by Berto Pray 5. Carlo Albanese says, Dear Bop, I exposed myself to radiation and now I'm in jail. I need advice. And John Araki with a $1 super chat gets kissing Dax. Very cool. Very lucky. Via super chat, nonetheless. The much harder way of getting kissing Dax. John Araki pulls it off. Today is all of our lucky day. Good job, John. So Carlo, he needs advice. Yeah, Carlo, don't expose yourself to anyone in jail. That's my advice. Just wait for your public defender. They'll get you off with a warning. The Random Menace is greetings from the future. Sitting in my neighborhood's man cave and watching. Good to see you, Random Menace. The Truth Apocalypse is hail alpacas and others too. Qapla, the Truth Apocalypse. And Thomas says, yes, anti-tracker. And Thomas says, hail to ego. Carlo Albanese puts in a nephew Opre emoji. And I got to say, that's such a baby face. And his new face isn't a baby face. It's a toddler face. So I wonder if I've got to update the nephew Opre emoji soon. Although I would hate to see the baby face go. But I feel like I'm not doing him justice if I don't update it to the toddler face he has now. The Truth Apocalypse is what is Caroga? That's just, obviously, everybody knows what Caroga is. The Dede Myers says, Bird of Prey, glad to hear you and the family are doing okay. It's great to see you live on stream today. Hope you get a lot better over the weekend. Thank you, Dede. So do I. The Truth Apocalypse says, Dear Bop. Yes, we're going to get to Dear Bop very shortly. And John Araki says, I win 1 in 36. Yep. Commodore Ty, yes, Dear Bop, we're going to write in a couple minutes. Dede Myers says, long live our ruler, Berto Pray 5. Long live the almighty Berto Pray 5. All kneel before him. I don't say you have to kneel, but a bow or something. That'll be enough. JD Brisboys, Qapla JD says, hey, does anyone know if Deej is doing game night tonight? And if so, what time? I do not know, JD, but if Deej is here or anybody who's spoken to Deej knows, please go ahead and let us know. I did not hear him talking about it, but I don't often hear him talking about it, so not sure. All I know is that Commodore Ty is doing a Sons of Anarchy watch party. Dede Myers is our hell. Pure you in the mines and make family hoes slaves. What? Dede, I think there's some typos. Carlo Albanese says, remember Caroga sent the Beagle back in time to save the universe with love. This is all true. And Truth Apocalypse says, all nail. All hail. All hail. Deej Odyssey says, I could do some games after Bird is off the air. Well, that's very cool, Deej. Very cool indeed. So let's go ahead and head over to Dear Bop. Dear Bop. And let's see, what do we got? We got a handful of Dear Bops. Okay. Dear Bop. Jesus Christ, people. Says, hi. I have a vibrator stuck in my vajayjay. I can't reach it. And it's turned on to a setting of 12. I can't sit down, and I need to go to the hospital. Can you please tell me what to do? I'm not used to having a vajayjay. Anti-Tracker, a.k.a. Michelle Crawford. Oh, I see. Anti-Tracker had his sex change operation recently, and he's not used to using that piece of equipment. Well, you're right. If you got to go to the hospital, just go and, lay on your back until the paramedics come, and they'll transfer you to a gurney, and they'll take you to the hospital, and the doctors will pull it out, and they'll only charge you a small shipping and handling fee so you can get it back. Next time, don't stick it up so far. They might have told you you were a woman, but it's not exactly the same. Moxley fans is Qapla Bird. Hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Moxley. Dear Bop. Henry Bemis. Bemis? Is that how you pronounce that? Henry Bemis, a bookish little man with a thick horned rim glasses, wants only one thing out of life: time to read. Reading is his only passion in an otherwise mundane existence, yet it's almost an impossibility due to a shrewish wife who deems reading silly, a boss at the bank who's interested in efficiency, not education, and the unrelenting hands of the clock. Now all that is about to change. As he does every day, Bemis sneaks down to the vault to read during his lunch hour, but today when he emerges from his private sanctuary, he'll enter a new world, a world that might or might not fulfill his lifelong dream. And this is clearly from the Twilight Zone. The guy breaks his glasses. Bemis. That's what I said, Deej. Bemis. There was no question there, so on to the next. Dear Bop. Witness Mr. Henry Bemis, a character member in the Fraternity of Dreamers, a bookish little man whose passion is the printed page, but who is conspired against by a bank president and a wife and a world full of tongue cluckers and the unrelenting hands of the clock. But in just a moment, Mr. Bemis will enter a world without bank presidents or wives or clocks or anything else. He'll have a world all to himself without anyone at all. Okay. And it continues. Dear Bop, the best laid plans of mice and men and Henry Bemis, the small man in the glasses who wanted nothing but time. Henry Bemis, now just part of a smashed landscape, just a piece of the rubble, just a fragment of what man has deemed deeded to himself. Mr. Henry Bemis in the Twilight Zone. Do 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 do. Is there more on Bemis? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now. There was all the time I wanted. That's not fair. I'm sorry, Mr. Bemis. Life is not fair. And that's not even in the Twilight Zone. That's just in general. Life isn't fair. Wish it was, but it's not. Complaining about it not being fair, it's something you can do for a little bit. It makes you feel better, if it does. Probably won't. More than likely, you just get more and more angry and upset the more you complain about it. It's easier said than done, but if you do find yourself in Mr. Bemis's position, try to find the silver lining. I don't know what it is. The man couldn't see for anything. He was probably going to die of starvation, since he probably couldn't even find food at that point. So books weren't really going to be a problem. He could teach himself Braille, and then he could read the Braille books, I suppose. But that would mean he'd have to find food and water. And let's face it, all those books were going to become useless the first time it rained anyway. He didn't really have a long-term plan. He was going to die anyway, even if he had his glasses. Dear Bop, can we all agree that Rock Solid is terrible? No, we can't agree. Rock Solid is a great guy. That's what we can agree on. Dear Bop, while listening to the Real Reviews 3000 show last night, it seemed like the Ozonator sound just a little younger version of Bird. Are you sure you don't have a son out there? Or is he Clonopray, the next Bird Opray sick? I'm pretty sure that is no relation to me whatsoever. It was also the first full episode of the Real Review I ever watched. And I gotta say, those judges, they made a lot of bad choices, in my opinion. But that's just me. Dear Bop, I need to know if my employer has violated my HIPAA rights. They are changing the badges our employees are always required to have on display at all time. The change is from a neutral color to an obnoxiously bright one to indicate whether or not an employee has been vaccinated. Regardless if I am or am not vaccinated, it's no one's business. At a glance from a distance of over 50 feet, you can clearly see the new badges, which discloses my medical history to anyone within the company. Is this something legal? I don't care if my employer knows my vaccination status, but Billy Joe Bob sweeping the floors has no need to know my medical history. Please advise. Good question. I think you might have a point. I don't agree with it. I mean, I personally would be fine if they made an exception, but the law isn't about making exception. The law is the law. So as it stands now, like would they no? Like, could you have employees wear a badge based on if they ever had cancer? And if you're not sure, could they make employees wear a badge if they were HIV positive? And I can tell you without a doubt, the answer to that is a strong no. You could not have HIV positive people have a bright red badge and everyone else have a dark blue badge. That would get thrown out. That would cause litigation. That would cause lawsuits. That would cause massive settlements. No. So you're right. I think you've got a legit thing. The thing is, how are the courts going to decide? If we had true impartial courts, I would say you've got a good case. Unfortunately, seeing how the courts have ruled in the last decade. Thank you, the Random Menace, for renewing a member 9 months in a row. A friend of Caroga. It was probably an automatic renewal, but thank you so much, Random Menace. But so back to the issue at hand. Yeah, you probably got a pretty good case. You should, if it means a lot to you, you could probably talk to a lawyer. You might get one who would take the case, on contingency, assuming that there's a settlement at some point. They would take a portion of it. But like I said about actually getting a favorable ruling, I'm just not sure, because a lot of judges feel like it's their mission not so much to interpret the law, but to do what they feel is best for the country or for whatever. And unfortunately, that's not their job. And I hate to say, well, what do you mean? Shouldn't I be doing what's best for the country? Yes and no. You should be doing your job. And I think doing your job is what's best for the country in the long run. Because that means that if that means that somebody's got to go back to the drawing table and they've got to make a new law because that's what's best for the country, so be it. So I honestly don't think you're going to get a win, but I think you have a good case. And I think you should probably pursue it. If you don't mind getting fired or something. It's going to be a long road and a hard road. And LDG of Geeks Enjoy has also renewed now 9 months in a row their Carogan citizenship, Qapla, and thank you, Geeks Enjoy. Moxley fan says, badges. We don't need no stinking badges. And the Real Review 3000 is in the chat. It says, Qapla, and it says, you should judge sometime then. I would be an evil judge, Chris. I would, like last night, and I hate to say this, but I would not have been kind to the Doctor Who answer. As much as I like Yvette, I hate Doctor Who. And it's not fair, I understand, but I would just, I don't want to hear about Doctor Who. So I don't know if I could give a fair, I don't know if judges have to, what role, I'm talking about judges. I don't know what the rules for judges are. So if the rule is to be impartial, I don't know if I would be. We could talk about it though. Darth Maul says, we have vaccination cards, but we would be required to put those on public display. If yes, then what other information will have to be displayed in the future, Bird of Prey? Once the door opens, you know. Dede says, I did the Doctor Who answer. Son of a bitch. Didn't Yvette also do a Doctor Who answer? either way, whoever did the Doctor Who answer would have got 10 points from me and would have ended up losing the game because of it. And LDG is opening up the backstage, puts in the link. So there it is. And Sven, the naked Nordic ninja, says, pay no mind to what other voices say. They don't care about you like I do. Safe from pain and truth and choice and other poison devils. See, they don't give a F about you like I do. JD's got to go, running low on battery. See you guys later. Take care, JD. And HIPAA, says Truth Apocalypse. So yeah, I think this is a violation. But and yeah, the example would be they couldn't do it for HIV. Imagine if they said, okay, anybody who's got herpes, you got to wear this different color badge. Anybody with HIV or anyone who's ever had gay sex, you've got to wear this different color badge. No, that would all be illegal. So yeah, it sounds illegal to me. Dear Bop, UPS here. We are sorry to hear about the difficulties you've recently experienced with our interface. We have taken your concerns on board and have updated your personal interface to Uzbekistan as requested. We hope that fixes your issues. We promise to handle any and all packages with as much care as we have dealt with your issues in the future. Thank you for using UPS. You know, when I made my now infamous UPS rant, and I said 90% of the business being in the United States isn't enough, that would make the United States the default for the whole world. Honestly, I pulled the 90% number out of my ass. I had no idea what was the actual business amount that the U.S. was for UPS. I assumed it was closer to 60%. I just assumed it was most. I didn't think it was a super majority amount. So I Googled it. 83%. The real number is 83%. 83%. 83% of your business comes from one effing country, and you can't make that one country have a special status? Fuck you, UPS. Fuck you hard. Okay? 83% of your goddamn business comes from these 50 fucking states. Put the United States first on your fucking website, you stupid, dumb fucks with your brown trucks and your brown uniforms and your unionized drivers who like to sleep on the boxes. And I used to see this every day at work. Our UPS driver loved our building because he could pull in a corner and he would open the back of the truck and he would literally sleep on top of the boxes for an hour or two and then go back to work because that's how union labor works. Meanwhile, the FedEx guy, he was always rushing as quickly as he could to get through as many boxes as he could because he was not a unionized worker. He probably got paid by how many stops he made or some other incentive. You know, I'm sure he got paid hourly, but with some type of incentive. Fucking UPS. 83 fucking %. And we're literally the last country under North America. To say nothing about Uzbekistan. Qapla, Darius. Carlos says every effing time. Daniel Billings waves. Qapla, Daniel. Commodore Ty says time to start clipping. Maego says language. LDG, recording. Maego says sleeping is good for you. Yeah, it is good for you. How about you not try to sleep between 9 and 5 in the parking lot of a commercial office building? Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, they don't want to assume your country you're in, even with the fact they already know. Of course they know. They know. They have the IP address. 47 Yorktown says, Angry Bird is the best bird. Daniel Billings says, the FedEx guys always work harder. Commodore Ty says, this is true. Professor Brady Specs is sad. I'm sorry, Professor. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, the orphan miners are asking, what's a union? What should I tell them? Smash an apple under your boot and tell them that's a union. Dear Bop, I'm not going to be watching today because of something that happened on another day. I'm not upset or angry. I'm simply afraid to come on, even just to listen. Have a good weekend. Get to feeling better. No advice needed. Just wanted to let you know. Well, that's a completely effing useless Dear Bop. If it was something I could control, let me know what it is. If it's nothing I can do, then you don't need to tell me. You're not going to be here. I did say have a nice weekend. Well, you should have a nice weekend too, but it feels like they want something from me and they need to ask. Dear Bop, please advise. Can I make a duct tape space suit? Technically, you can. Will it work? No. No, it will not. It will buy you about 10 seconds, as opposed to 5 you might have without it. Dear Bop, are you fully functional? It depends. Not as fully functional as I want to be. Dear Bop, we don't all need to agree, but rock solid is terrible. No, rock solid is not terrible. Come on now. And Vladimir Shakowski says, Dear Bop, do you think sex addiction is real? Or is it something people who like to fool around come up with to look like victims? I imagine it's real, like any other addiction. But just because you're addicted doesn't mean you're innocent. I mean, if you want to think they're a victim, that's up to you. I would not paint them as a victim. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure like there are people who are addicted to exercising. There are people who are addicted to caffeine. There are people who are addicted to food. There are people who are addicted to all sorts of things. So I'm sure there are people who are technically addicted to sex. Now, is everyone who cheats addicted to sex? No. Are some? I'm sure there are. Does that excuse the cheating? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you've got an addiction to sex, then you shouldn't be in a relationship. Frankly, if you got an addiction to most things, you should probably work on that addiction before you start a long-term relationship. If you start a long-term relationship, your partner needs to know your addictions before you start that relationship. You know, if you're addicted to cigarettes, they probably know already. But if they don't, you need to tell them. If you're addicted to drugs, you need to tell them. If you're addicted to cats, you need to tell them. And if they want to work through it with you, then so be it. And if you're addicted to sex and you tell your partner before you start, you're like, hey, I like you a lot. I want to date you. I want to see where this goes. But you need to know I've got a sex addiction. So if I can't get it from you and you don't know where I am one night, just know it's my addiction. And if they love you enough and they want to work through it with you, then that's their business. They need to be told ahead of time. You do not tell them after you've been dating 6 months or a year that, oh shit, I was cheating on you because I have a sex addiction. It doesn't work like that. You've got to put the addictions out in front. Then it's their choice. Not everyone will say no, surprisingly. Yeah, they might say, I'm addicted too. Carlos is bird of prey. They don't want to assume your country. I read that. Carlos is bird of prey. Yes, I read that too. Sven says to Carlo, tell them when mommy and daddy love each other very much. That's a union. Maego says people who are addicted to Star Trek Discovery are the real victims. This is absolutely true, Maego. Daniel Billings says, was very sad when the couple died. Says, Abe, okay, not going to read that because that's a spoiler. Darth Maul says, like Britney Spears said in her song, I'm not innocent. She admitted to sex addiction. I really didn't listen to Britney Spears much at all. Commodore Ty says, true to Maego. Carlo Albanese says, I'm addicted to money. That's why I try to avoid it. At least that's why what I'll say when I'm so poor. Thanks for the advice. Darth Maul says, I told my future wife I was addicted to love. Now you see, there are people addicted to love. Darius says, Darth Maul might as well face it. Commodore Ty says, don't forget to subscribe to his channel. If you have not seen his various reviews, home of his nerdy content, your nerdy content. So yes. Also on Commodore Ty's channel earlier today, there was quite the discussion between LDG and I think Sven and the rest of us, although I stayed out of it, as to what's the difference between a nerd, a dork, and a geek. These are the kinds of things we discuss in the morning. Commodore Ty says, due to a power outage, I may not be able to do Sons of Anarchy watch party. I'm currently on my cell. Oh no, Commodore Ty. I hope your power comes back soon. And Dede says, awesome, my TARDIS arrived. Very cool, Dede. And guys, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and end the stream because we have finished the Dear Bops for today. And I'm not at 100% yet, but I hope to be soon. Tomorrow at around 3 p.m. Eastern. Actually, you know what? Tomorrow we could probably do it 2 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is an hour earlier than usual, we're going to be doing Cinema Saturday. It's a very special Cinema Saturday. We're going to be rewatching Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, but it is the director's cut. The director's cut, a hard-to-get cut in HD. A hard-to-get copy. Well, not that hard, but I mean, you can buy it on Amazon or other places, but so the director's cut of The Wrath of Khan for the Cinema Saturday movie tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see everybody there. Yeah. We'll have some fun. Khan! One of the best Star Trek movies of all time. Of all time. And Dede is going live and threw out his link. So head on over to Dede's stream. So the party will continue over there. Qapla all. Bird o prey 5 out. But wait, there's more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Birdo Prey 5 needs. At the main Birdo Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Birdo Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Birdo Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Caroga.